And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Cousins now on second down. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly,
that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Oh, what a move. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did something with that.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but it's still a lot of work to do on third down.
Bradford now. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st, here's Washington. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Second down, Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll go to Adams, try to pound it in. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. 3rd and goal for Cousins. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Point after try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Play fake. Cousins. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Hassan Reddick. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. On the return is Peterson. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about, until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now it's a bootleg with Bradford, sliding out of the pocket. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Justin Pugh, the left guard that time, with a flag. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And able to find Kirk complete. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Bradford. Screen play, Johnson. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be a 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. He'll field this at the 5. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Tackle made there by Budda Baker.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Cousins again. Lets it fly for Thielen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Now it's Peterson. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Working out of the gun, Bradford. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 1st and 10, Bradford. And this is incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Bradford now from the 50. And he's got Fitzgerald. A gain of 32 that time.
All the skills were on display on that big-time play. How about him blasting off the line of scrimmage, deep downfield, sells the post pattern in a big way. And that's really pretty easy to do because all defenders are taught not to get beat in the middle of the field. Then how about the agility to break it off towards the corner? Really nicely thrown ball. Awesome completion.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And that is incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. And it's 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Operating from the gun, Bradford. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. And that is no good. He pulled it just a wee bit wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Robert Kimdichie in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Cousins now. And the pressure gets to him again. Adolphus Washington in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Going deep for Diggs. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
One of my favorite safeties in the league is Harrison Smith. His ability to support in the run game, as we just saw there, that's key, but also can cover deep as well.
Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. Dumping it off for Johnson. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a second missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the 4th down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They go with Washington to begin the drive. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Washington. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Cousins to throw it. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. They just do get the playoff. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Bradford again, dancing to his left. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. In search of something here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. from the gun. Bradford. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people, can't they?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. Incomplete. And oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Here we go. Here we go. 5-2. Here we go.
Off the bootleg. Bradford. They'll roll him out right. And that's incomplete. Harrison Smith, the all-pro safety, was right there step for step defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Open man is Kirk, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Rolling to his right. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Stephen Weatherly able to get him for a loss of about 3. Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Bradford. And he's going to go down again. Linval Joseph in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. In search of something here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. From the gun, Bradford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Lucky 48.
Staying on the ground with Washington. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Yellow, yellow. It's in there. Yellow, yellow. Yellow, yellow.
On 3rd down, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Here's Drew Kaiser now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded at about the 28. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So out now come the Cardinals. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action. Now Bradford. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Off the play fake. Bradford buying time to his left. And this one is incomplete.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Oh, it's a wobbler here. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start the drive with Washington. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Right back to Washington. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field, and that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, here's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Play action. Bradford. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Daniil Hunter getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the second half at FedEx Field now. And very little issue in that one for the Redskins, opening their lead a bit further. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time there was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Bradford now after the fumble recovery. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. A 2nd down throw for Bradford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And Johnson on an island by himself in the backfield. 2nd and goal. Bradford the thrower. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. They come out here in the eye. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Sam Bradford, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Cousins now on 2nd down. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards that time for number 14. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points.
All right, now here we go. Oh.
Second down, Cousins. Looking sideline, incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
We're going. We're going. Let's go.
Cousins from the gun on third. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Cousins now to throw on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On second down, Cousins again. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Again, it's Cousins. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
First down, Bradford. He's going to air one out. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They go to Johnson again. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Brian Robinson in on the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
Turbo.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Bradford. Space to run past the 20. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Here's Bradford. Able to get away. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Eric Kendricks in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Here's the rookie from Fordham. It's Chase Edmonds. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Chase Edmonds with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And it's taken in at the 9. A little juke. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Cousins on 1st down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Johnson. Johnson on his way, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Let's go! What? 90! What?
And he's going to be he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Let's go! Red 38!
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Arizona, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.